Good morning, everybody. We're out in the back deck. We're having a cup of coffee. Different. I make, sometimes on a day like this, I'll make my coffee in a glass and a little cream and lots of cinnamon. Okay, so what are we doing today? Today we're not gonna do a jewelry video, but what I want to show you, I hope that most of you find interesting, it's the consumption of waste by chickens. And I've got a big tray of food here. There's mashed potatoes and carrots and a little bit of pork and the old strawberries and the soggy cherries and the leftover watermelon. Now you're probably saying to yourself, geez, Frank, what the fuck you cook so much for? I didn't cook it. That was leftovers from Wednesday night dinner. And you know, we feed 10 people at least, and there's leftovers, okay? So I'm gonna walk us over to the chicken coop. Excuse me. I'm gonna have a bit more coffee, and I wanna show you my pork loin that we put on this morning. Look at this. We got this at about 300, 325. And there's the pork loin cooking. Okay, she's a beauty. You've been on, you know, she's only been... There's been no reported cases of trichinosis in BC for 40 years from the pork producers, okay? Yes, in wild bears and stuff like that. But don't be afraid of your pork, okay? Okay, so let's set ourselves up over by the chicken coop. And we've got a nice little shot of me walking in there. And then I'm gonna leave it in real time for how long 30 chickens will take. Oh, that's chipotle. Oh, that's good. That's gonna be good. I'm gonna let it cook for 4 or 5 hours. Nice slow cooking. Okay, so let's get at her. See how the chickens took off? Excellent opportunity. Throw them something. Throw them something. Can you see me? Throw them something. If they're overwhelming, you throw them something and they'll take off from the door. Okay, you guys? So let's just try to set this down somewhere here. And I took my rings off because I know this is going to get messy for our little experiment. So let's get this down so they can eat that. Oh, gotta turn that. Okay, so okay, you see that gets a little messy, but you know what? We're experimenting here. So I'm gonna leave that running. I'm gonna leave this running. I'm gonna go wash this out and I'll come back and we'll see how much they've devoured. All right? Well, that's about 3 or 4 minutes. That was probably 25 pounds with all the fruit on there and the potatoes, and then let's call it 20 pounds. So 30 chickens. I don't know about you, but that's cleaned up. That's cleaned up. So I think there was some town in Finland or something like that, and I could look it up and I'll double check, but they gave anybody who wanted it 3 chickens. And the waste at the dump was down by, I don't know how big the town is, and I'll look it up, and or you look it up, Google it, like the 3 chickens in a town or something like that. And the food waste went down something substantial, like 100 tons in their little municipal dump and stuff like that. Nothing goes to waste around here. If it's expired, or if, you know, if it's too much, you know, the guys, tell the guys, you know what, I'm going to just take that home and I'm going to feed it to the chickens. Otherwise, you know what, we're not like anybody else. It gets thrown out. It goes into the green waste. So then they're not wasting any time. They love watermelon. They'll pick that thing clean. There'll be just a rind around here in the next few days and it'll just dry up and go away. Okay, so some of you are probably asking, what do I get out of it? Well, the satisfaction of having chickens. They're wonderful little creatures to have. But better yet, I'm just going to stick my hand in here to one of the coops. Aren't they beautiful? Okay, so how many eggs do we get a day? Oh, 30 chickens in the summertime. About 12.5 eggs a day. So when I say to you I have a fresh omelet, I'm not kidding you. Take these into the house. We give them that bin right there. That is oyster shells. So Lisa picks that up and she does a great job. I put a bit of feed in around the edge there so they eat the feed and the oyster shells. So the oyster shells makes for a nice hard egg. Now, some people, you know, I do too, the egg shells, I save them in the kitchen and stuff like that, and we throw them in as scraps. They eat the egg shells too. If you're not careful, they'll eat the eggs, right? And so you don't want that though. You don't want a chicken that eats their own eggs, right? This is what we're doing this for. Okay, look at that. Look at how they've cleaned up. Okay, so that was about 10 minutes. And that food's gone. And I don't need to feed them again today. You know, I'd get away without feeding them tomorrow too if I didn't want to, but I got some more scraps up there. I got the loin ends from that roast, those roasts that are gonna go to the dogs and to the crows. Now some of you say, what the hell do you have crows for? Well, you'd be surprised, crows take care of a lot of unwanted rodents and stuff like that too, right? So they kill a lot of other things too, but you know what? We feed a crow and it comes right up to the table. So maybe I'll just try to, if Lisa's up, we'll try to get a little bit of that. The crow comes right up to the table and she feeds him. He's taking a real liking to me too. Okay, you probably ask, what do we do with all those eggs? There's no way I'm eating 12 and let's say that doesn't have 18 eggs a day. There's no way. There's no way. So I'm gonna take you up to the front and show you the egg stand. And it's an honor system and stuff like that, but it's a great little egg stand, and let's go up there and take a look at that. Okay, I didn't bring a dozen eggs out with me to show you loading up the fridge, but you know what? You get the idea. Okay, so I made this little egg stand a few years ago. There's power out at the gate, so I just plugged into it, and we plugged in the fridge. somebody was nice enough, and we've had all sorts of people. I've had all sorts of customers over the years. Somebody was nice enough and left this on top of the fridge one day. You just think it's great. Had a little light in it, the battery would light up at night. Okay. You come by, I have it like this. Right, so if you drive by, you see the green. You see the green. And you know, there's eggs in there. And so I've pretty well got everybody on the same page, and you know, when the fridge is empty, there's a little strong box there with a lock on it. You put your money in there, and people are great around here. I really only had 1 or 2 problems, but don't kid yourself, you guys. You know, we're the 21st century society. There's cameras everywhere. Okay, all over the property, everywhere. The bears, and for the coyotes, and for the chickens and stuff like that. You know, these cameras have little motion things in them. So anyways, so that's what you do with the extra eggs. You know, yes, I eat the eggs, and I give the eggs to some friends and stuff like that, and it's just beautiful. There's the crow. He's coming over to see what I'm doing. Well, I hope that's an interesting video, because you know, a lot of people ask about the chickens. They do, right? I get emails and texts and stuff like that. And what's going on with the chickens? How does that work? Well, this is how it works. And the money that generated from the chicken feed, from the chickens, pays for all the feed, and then some, right? You do the math. $6. Dozen and a half a day, 365 days. Those red Rhode Island Reds are supposed to produce 300 eggs each per year in a proper environment. So let's just say they're 250 eggs each. 365 days a year. Sorry, not like that. Yeah, you would divide it by that times 30 chickens, and then, you know, $6 a dozen. And the cartons don't cost us anything, because everybody's putting the cartons, the used cartons here. So we have a bit of a following. And I have, if you think, okay, well, how do people know? Set up a local Facebook page for your community. Just say, okay, well, I'm on such and such, and that's what chickens do. Okay, so you saw me bring out the scraps. You saw that it was 20 pounds for sure, and they went through it in 10 minutes, and they produced lovely eggs for me. And the eggs come out here, and I sell the eggs, and it pays for the feed and pays for the property taxes and a few other things. It's if you have a farm, you have to have chickens. You don't have to, but for me, it made sense. All right, you guys, I hope you appreciate that, and I don't know what else I can say about it. I hope you appreciate that, you guys, and we're gonna leave it here. I think that's gonna be a 10-15 minute video, and that's the chickens. Okay, and my pork loin. That pork loin's gonna be beautiful. All right, you guys, have a great day. Did you call somebody? If you like what I'm doing, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and make a comment. All right, you guys.